Heads up, responders. The food processing machines at Mama Dolce's have finally cooled down enough to work again. I've set them up to make cans of stew using the ingredient containers spread around the factory. The machines make a hell of a racket, so you'll probably get some unwanted guests.
Please stand clear. This is now a free fire zone. Kill. Continue. Resistance is unlawful.
As if I nothing there after all.
False alarm. Standing now.
I know there's a restricted section of the university. You think the students never noticed who comes and goes?
It does not matter what you may have seen or heard before you graduated over here. That is not my concern. Warning, dangerous fugitive is on the loose. Resident has arrived. Come here. We need to discuss this ridiculous request of yours.
Why must you humans always resort to violence?
Objective is attempting to evade capture. Beginning pursuit.
Glad you're here. Maybe the two of us together can talk some sense into this machine.
The Overseer mentioned there would be more people coming. I was programmed to run this university in the event of the Dean's absence. He is absent. Therefore, I am running it. Assuming there even is a restricted section, and I am not verifying that, neither of you have Vault-Tec University credentials. Faculty and staff determine who goes where in this university, not former students.
I might be the only human being connected to this place that's still alive. My authority doesn't override yours?
No, it does not. And for the record, I was the dissenting opinion on fast-tracking your Overseer assignment. You are not pushing your way through me. There is one thing I need. A new graduating class. Unfortunately, your Overseer has already passed the final exam, but you could take it.
You mean the vault simulation? That's ridiculous. All the professors are gone. The vaults have already been assigned.
My programming dictates that this university's purpose is to produce graduates, and I intend to follow the rules. Unlike some people, the simulation will be run by the Mr. Handy janitorial staff. It is an experimental protocol, but you will find they are more than up to the task. Producing quality graduates is the very foundation of my purpose. A purpose that has gone unfulfilled for far too long. You will be given a scenario that you need to accomplish in the vault simulation area. The handies will play as the residents you need to oversee. Glad we agree. In this test scenario, your vault has divided into factions. You must resolve the conflict any way you see fit. Your chief of security will fill you in on the details. Good luck.
I'm not familiar with this test scenario. Professor Bott must have come up with it on his own. A vault simulation run by robots. Be prepared for anything.
Complete your task, and we can talk about granting you permission to the restricted wing. Approach and identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens will not be harmed.
You the new overseer? Heck of a boiling pot you're stepping into. Little tiff between the engineers and the med staff is ready to blow.
Designated law enforcement authorities.
I don't quite know how to respond to that. Getting back to it, there was a reactor leak. Kellerman, head engineer's apprentice, rushed in to fix it. Poor kid got a full dose of rads. That's not the worst of it. Dr. Loris, head of the medical team, refused to send in help. Quarantined the reactor area so nobody died trying to go in there. Head engineer Brass accused the doctor of murder. Then, a couple days later, people noticed that one of the doctor's assistants, Estella, was missing. Everyone thinks it's a revenge killing. An eye for an eye. No. There's no evidence, no weapon, not one speck of blood. I'm at a loss, Overseer. Need you to make sense of all this. Sorry I couldn't be of more help. That's good to hear, Overseer. I'll be here if you need me. Did you have a question, Overseer? It's not really my place to say, Overseer. But taking either of them in could spell trouble. They each have a loyal team to call on.
Overseer, I'm so glad you've stepped into this little mess of ours. I'm sure you'll resolve the matter swiftly. Oh no, there's a full medical staff. They're bandying about somewhere, as usual. I'm afraid I can't really comply with that request, Overseer. The reactor is under quarantine. The radiation could kill you. Very well. As long as you take all the necessary precautions. Here. How can I help? I don't have a feud with Brass. He has a feud with me. I'm only doing my job, Overseer, looking out for the health of the vault. And I'm sorry to say that, in my medical opinion, the chief engineer is suffering from paranoia and revenge fixation. We can't let that fester. Oh, nasty business. But I'm not going to apologize for it. It had to be done. As doctors, we take an oath to do no harm. But sometimes, we have to choose between saving one life or saving several. Simple. You can authorize me to place the head engineer under medical supervision. A combination of chems and therapy will do the rest. There might be some protest, but I think our combined authority will keep that to a minimum. Some treatments can seem horrible at first, but it's the welfare of the patients and everyone around them that we must concern ourselves with. But it's your decision, of course. Let me know if you want to discuss it again later. I'm at your service, Overseer.
The engineers are to blame for all this nonsense, not us. Just doing my job, Overseer.
Overseer, huh? We'll see. Not yet. No. Don't care what security says. Dr. Loris had no right to quarantine the reactor. Leaving Kellerman to die? Murder. That's all there is to it. I want justice, Overseer. Did they tell you how me and my crew scoured every inch of this vault looking for her? Yeah, that's right. Every loose access panel and every vent. You think I wanted anyone else to die? The only one here that cold-blooded is Dr. Loris. He proved that with Kellerman. Couldn't, could we? Only Loris and his staff have access once an area is quarantined. No. Half this vault thinks he did the right thing. You do anything to him now, that split will turn violent. I want him exposed. Prove to everyone that he's the bad gear in this vault's engine. Loris put on a good show when he quarantined the reactor area. But what if more happened than folks remember? A few selective edits to the security recordings, and we can make sure everyone sees Loris for what he really is. Now, I can't just waltz into the security office, but you could, being the overseer and all. Maybe. But maybe you and me at least do right by Kellerman's memory. Bring me the holotape when you have it. I'll do the edits myself. Almost beginning to like you, Overseer.
Anything for the vault. Like I said, simple. There might be. Just take my diagnosis over to the security team and say that you agree with my recommendations. Once any unpleasantness is dealt with, I can guarantee you that the vault will be back to peace and quiet in no time.
Stella, Dr. Loris's assistant. I snuck into the reactor to help Kellerman, but there's not enough time. The reactor is going to go critical. I'm dosing Kellerman with enough right away so he can finish fixing it. But the radiation is going to get us. At least the vault will be safe.
Anything I can do to help, just ask. You found her? Poor lass. I'm guessing she didn't make it. Let's take a listen then. So she wasn't murdered. She was trying to save Kellerman. Two of them ended up saving us all. This is big news, Overseer. We take this to Brass and Loris, it could end the infighting for good. At once, Overseer! Everyone gather in the common area! We have an important announcement from the Overseer.
Unidentified intruder detected.
What's this about,
Search.
Robinson? I have charts to update.
Maybe the Overseers finally decided to throw your murderous backside in jail.
That's enough! The Overseer has discovered what happened to Estella. This holotape proves she went into the quarantined reactor area on her own. She and Kellerman saved the vault.
They work together? Medical and engineering?
Oh, we've been fools, Brass. Bickering like two old men while the young ran off to solve our problems. It should have been us.
I actually agree with you there.
So that's it then? No more arguing? You'll both work under the Overseer's authority?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the right thing to do.
Good job. That's a solution any overseer should be proud for getting to. Everyone learns we have to work together. Looks like it's back to Professor Bott.
Congratulations on finishing the vault simulation. I was rooting for you.
Exam's over. Back to cleaning up, I guess.
Whew. Simulation is over. I get so nervous, you see. I hope I didn't break character.
Not against all fear. Justice will be administered swiftly and fairly. Police cleared the area. Order has been restored. Warning, continued operation cannot be guaranteed. Please contact an authorized repair representative immediately. Well, it appears you passed the test, barely exceeding my low expectations of you. Your success is simply a reminder of the appalling standards I must now deal with. You are lucky. We grade on a curve. You are now an official graduate of Voltech University, entitled to access to the restricted wing. Back down in the vault, simulation space is a maintenance area. It conceals a secondary room that I believe will have what you are looking for.
It was almost good to see you again, Professor Bott.
Yes, Overseer, I suppose it was. Congratulations on one of your residents passing the program. You must be proud.
Actually, I am. Afraid I don't have my old cap and gown to share with you. Hopefully, what you'll find in the restricted wing will be even better. Keep an eye out.
Intruder, identify yourself. Initiating search for hostile target. Fugitive has evaded pursuit. Law enforcement authorities now have primary responsibility. Area for secure.
Welcome, esteemed members of Congress and our armed services, to a very special Vault-Tec presentation. Gold. This rarefied metal has been the backbone of trade since time immemorial. And in the event of nuclear war, this precious resource will once again become invaluable to rebuilding America's economic future. That is why Vault-Tec has been commissioned to build a different and very real vault. Named for the atomic number of the metal it will guard, Vault 79 will be the new home for all of America's gold reserves. Fort Knox will secretly be retired and emptied. Its gold bullion transported to the new vault, where it will be safe behind Vault-Tec's top-of-the-line automated security. Biometric recognition to verify authorized personnel. Sophisticated laser grid fields to ward off intruders. And in the unlikely event of a breach, military-grade defensive turret systems built in partnership with our friends at Robco. All of this, along with Vault-Tec's signature lead-lined containment walls, airtight construction, fusion-powered generators, and automated manufacturing facilities. Vault 79, a golden future for the America we all know and love. Brought to you by Vault-Tec.
For once, the rumor mill gets it right. There is a treasure in that vault. All of America's gold reserves. Even getting into the vault at all is gonna be a challenge. Let alone dealing with that buffet line of intrusion countermeasures. But the reward? Put aside the base instinct of hoarding wealth. What could we do with a vault full of precious metals? Just listen, as closely as you can. What has gold always been used for in human history? Money. We could create our own currency. One with a legitimate authority backed by a real resource. No more barter or wild, unregulated proxies. It won't happen overnight, but one day we could have leverage to create a new economy. Property rights, taxes, laws. A government. Our mission is to rebuild this country, remember? We were an economic powerhouse once. We could be that again. And it could start right here, in Appalachia. We won't be able to do it alone. We need help. Even more importantly, we need people to buy in. See that gold as their future. Fortunately, you just made contact with two large groups of people who both seem to have their own talents. Appalachia isn't just ours anymore. We need people whose talents aren't covered in the Vault Tech training manuals. Look, talk to them both. See if they can help us. We can plan more once we know what all our options are. Talk to the newcomers. We'll need them if we're gonna get into that vault.